Hi everybody and welcome back to Redline, and today, as you can see, we've got a hot hatchback contest. Now those of you who watch our videos or read the magazine will know that I love a hot hatch. They're some of my most favourite cars to drive. And so when Ford said that we could have one of their Focus STs for a week, I got all excited. And then the car arrived and I opened the door and I realised that it had an automatic gearbox, and suddenly I was a bit less excited. However, I'm not going to let that get in the way of me having some fun in this fast Ford. So let's get on with the review and see what this Focus ST is all about. So this Focus ST meets the hot hatch recipe rather well, in my opinion. So we'll forget about the gearbox for the moment. We'll loop back to that a little bit later on in the review because I have some thoughts. But what we have here is a 2.3 litre EcoBoost engine. We've got 280 horsepower, 310 foot-pounds of torque, and all of that is fed to the front wheels via a limited slip differential. So, needless to say, this should be quite a fun car to drive. In terms of the performance, it feels brisk. So we've got 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. We've got a top speed of 155 miles an hour. Now this engine has lots of really great mid-range poke, but there's really not much love in taking it beyond 6,000 RPM. A Coupe Leon 300, which has an extra 20 horsepower, but interestingly, it's got less torque to the tune of about 15 foot-pounds. Feels faster than this in a straight line. It's not majorly faster, but yeah, it just has the legs on this Focus. But nevertheless, this offers really quick straight line performance and lots of overtaking potential in it as well. And like any modern hot hatch, we've also got driving modes, and rather conveniently, there's a handy button here on the steering wheel for selecting them. So we've got slippery, which is for poor conditions. We've got normal, sport, and we've got a racetrack mode. Now, usually these track modes work quite well on the public road, but this one less so because it backs the traction control off quite a bit. And I've just used it a few times and the car just gets a bit all out of shape. Sport mode is more than good enough for the public road, and it just makes the car a whole lot more responsive. Okay, interesting piece of country road. Let's put it into sport. Now, we all know Ford make a great chassis. Anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is lying to you. In fact, they're the same people that go, oh, I'll fix or repair daily, all day long. There are some people that really don't like these things. But these are a lot of fun. And there is much fun to be had out of this Focus ST. So, first of all, let's talk about this front end. No, in fact, let's talk about the steering. It's really lovely. You turn the wheel, the front end of the car goes where you want it to. You have this really great sense of connection to the front wheels. It's accurate for sure. But also the body control is excellent in this car. This thing would rather push into understeer than it would the body move around. In fact, I was out road testing the other day on some really tight left and right hand corners, and I was chucking it round at sort of 50 miles an hour, and this thing was barely budging, to be fair. Also, the ride quality, or should we say the quality of the damping. So the low speed ride, here's a big bump, perfectly supple, okay? So the low speed ride quality is a bit busy. This is a firm car for sure. However, the damping is really good. So when you hit those bigger bumps and undulations, it just softens them off really nicely, and it gives you the confidence to push on in the car. So yeah, huge amount of fun, great chassis, great body control, accurate front end, great steering, and a suppleness that really a hot hatch needs on a British B road. So yeah, I'm impressed. I quite like it. I want to talk about this car from a daily driving point of view because, I mean, it's a hot hatch. It's supposed to be a great all-rounder. Practicality-wise, it's very good. Boot's decent, lots of headroom and legroom in the rear of the car. And when you just put everything back into normal, it's a comfortable car to roll around in. My gripe, though, is with the infotainment system. Now, Ford appear to have gone all VW group on us. And what I mean by that is that they've given us this massive screen, which looks great, is quick to respond and has fantastic graphics, but they've taken all the buttons that you would like, physical buttons that you would like in the cabin, and put them into the infotainment and the Ford Sync 4 system, which means all your heating controls are in there, and it just means you spend a lot of time not looking at the road, but instead looking at a screen, jabbing at it, hoping that you're gonna get the right input. And like, Ford, can we just have some physical buttons back in the car, please? I know VW recently issued a press release saying that they were going to start bringing back buttons into their cars. Ford, I implore you to do the same thing. This is, as lovely as it is, it's quite distracting. So yeah, from a practicality and a usability point of view, the car's great, but more physical buttons, please. Okay, let's come back to this this gearbox, this 7-speed torque converter, and wrap this up. I'm going to be very blunt here. This is the wrong gearbox for the car. In a Cougar, in a Puma, in an ordinary Ford Focus, then yeah, be my guest. But in this Focus ST, in this hot hatchback, no, I don't think it belongs here. Ford make a lovely, slick 6-speed manual gearbox, and if you're going to buy one of these, then you should absolutely option this car with that. In fact, it comes as standard that the auto is an option. Because what that manual gearbox will give you, especially for the keener drivers, is just that extra level of engagement, that extra layer of enjoyment that you want from your hot hatchback. And ultimately what it does is it takes a good car and makes it just that little bit better. So if you're out in the market for one of these, by all means go out and get one. I think it's a decent car, but just make sure you spec that manual gearbox. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.